Now, in an announcement that is most likely to set off alarm bells in 10 Downing Street, Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has said that she wants to hold a second referendum as soon as next year. The party, which has formed the Scottish government since 2007, believes that winning the next Holyrood election in the month of May would give it a mandate to ask for another referendum for independence from Britain. Now, if there is another referendum and if the Scots vote it out, it will mark the biggest shock to the United Kingdom since Irish independence a century ago. And just as London is still grappling and coming to terms with the impact of Brexit.
I think the referendum, for a whole variety of reasons, should be in the earlier part of the next Parliament. I'm not going to sit here right now. I intend to say more about this before the election in our manifesto, but we are still in a global pandemic that I feel a bit more hopeful about seeing the end of than I did even just a couple of months ago, but there's still a lot of uncertainty ahead. And, you know, I'm a lifelong believer in, campaigner for, advocate for independence, but right now I'm also the First Minister of Scotland, and my responsibility is to the health and the well-being of the country.
Now, Sturgeon's remarks, of course, have come at a time when COVID-19 deaths in Scotland have surpassed the 5,000 mark. However, a recent BBC poll for Scotland has revealed that people are largely supportive of Sturgeon's handling of the pandemic. Her leadership credentials appear to be pretty secure at this point of time, and Sturgeon's claims seem to be backed by stable trends in recent times. The past 14 opinion surveys have shown that the Scots support independence. And Scottish National Party, headed by Sturgeon, is expected to perform pretty strongly in the elections to the Scottish Parliament that are slated to be held in the month of May. The Scottish Nationalist Party will argue that winning that election will be a mandate for another independence referendum. Last month, an Ipsos Mori poll indicated 58% of Scots will vote to quit the Four Nations United Kingdom if a referendum on Scottish independence were to be held this year. Now, the Scots voted 55 to 45 against independence in a 2014 referendum, but both Brexit and the British government's handling of the COVID-19 crisis have bolstered support for independence among Scots. Now, Ian Blackford, the SNP's leader in the House of Commons, has said earlier this month that the referendum must be held next year. However, critics argue that it would be impossible to do. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that the 2014 independence referendum was decisive and it was a once-in-a-generation event, and therefore it will be rejected. His government has said that there should not be another referendum in the near future. Now, will Sturgeon pay heed to Prime Minister Johnson's stand is, of course, something that remains to be seen. The Scots did not go with England and with Wales during the Brexit referendum, voting to stay in the EU bloc. And if the First Minister makes up her mind to push ahead with the referendum on independence, then it will be extremely challenging for Boris Johnson to not let it happen. As Nicola Sturgeon herself has said earlier in the month, across the Atlantic, even Trump is having to concede the outcome of a fair and a free democratic election.